Over 400 protesters gathered at the Capitol this past weekend to show support for those detained in connection to the deadly January 6th insurrection.
Now, despite 4 arrests, the muted rally went off largely without incident, and now the work of the U.S. Capitol Police continues. And here to discuss is U.S. Capitol Police Chief Thomas Manger. Welcome, Chief Manger. Thank you for being with us. And as we pointed out, the event had a smaller than anticipated crowd. You had 4 arrests there, but a very large police presence. Give us a sense of what went into anticipating this and then actually policing this protest.
So we had a great deal of planning. We've been planning for this event for probably more than a month, and we knew what needed to be different from January 6th. We knew we needed to have adequate staffing. We were able to have the advantage of putting the fence up just as a deterrent, but we also have been focused since January 6th on training, on making sure officers had the equipment that they needed, and that we shared our intelligence that we had about this meeting with our partners, with our officers ahead of time. So all that, I think, combined to make this event run as smoothly as possible.
Chief Manger, your department said at the beginning of summer there had been a 107% increase in the number of threats against lawmakers from the same time the year before. And at the time, you actually said, given the unique threat environment we live in, actually expected that number to continue. So what can you tell us about the numbers you're seeing of threats to lawmakers, and why do you think you're seeing the increases you are?
Well, I think that every day we hear about just conflicts and the divisive nature of the discourse that goes on in our country. And I think that this manifests itself with folks making threats against members of Congress and, in fact, elected officials around our country. So one of our main responsibilities is keeping the members of Congress safe and secure. And so that aspect of our service in terms of the department's responsibilities has certainly increased. And so we're not only are we taking measures to keep members safe, but we're actively investigating these threats as well. And we're partnering with other federal agencies. We're partnering with local agencies where we can determine these threats occurred from around the country. And so it's a combination really of investigating and protecting the members of Congress. But we just watch, we keep tally of these kinds of complaints, and they just keep going up.
Chief Manger, you were just sworn in a few months ago as chief back in July. You've already received praise for greater transparency there at the Capitol Police. But what more needs to be done? What more changes and reforms would you want to herald, that you want to see happen to keep Washington safe?
So I have the advantage of reading all of the Inspector General reports, all of the reports that have been done by the Senate, by General Honore, all of which had recommendations about what the department needs to do to improve. So I started reading all these recommendations, and they sort of fell in different categories. And there's a lot of them associated with our staffing. We need to increase our staffing. With the increased responsibilities that we have, we're going to need more folks to fulfill those responsibilities. But there were recommendations about training, about equipment, and certainly policy recommendations where our policies were outdated or certainly needed to be updated. And so we're focusing on all of those things. I think the biggest priority right now is to get our staffing up to where it should be. We've had a lot of folks retire, a lot of folks leave the department, and we're not, at the current point, we're not staying ahead of attrition. Now, every police department in the country might have that same issue that they're dealing with. But for us, we've got to make sure that we're out recruiting and hiring the right people for this job and getting ahead of attrition.
Well, U.S. Capitol Police Chief, we know you've got your hands full. Thomas Manger, thank you so much, Chief Manger. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.